welcome to episode 20 of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. My name is Emilie and I am coming to you from the north of Norway, as always, where I live with my boyfriend and our son who is 16 months old. I just thought I would do a little bit of an introduction again because there has been a lot of new subscribers to this channel lately. So thank you for subscribing and thank you for checking out this podcast, and it just makes me so happy that there are so many people who are interested in what I have to say. That's really amazing. So anyway, my name is Emilie. I am 26 years old. I live with my boyfriend who is also 26. His name is Sondre, and we have a son who is called Ludvig, and he's 16 months old. We live in a little house. It's a 3-bedroom house, but we have a basement as well where we can make more bedrooms if we want to. We bought this house 1.5 years ago, and right now I just finished my time as a student. I am done with my education in accounting and economics. My boyfriend is working in a supermarket, and from the 1st of January he isn't doing anything because they have gotten one of the stores in his chain is being nedlagt. It is being closed. They're not opening it again. So he has much less work from January, and I haven't found myself a job yet. I have a little bit of extra work in merchandising, which I really love. So it's a little bit hard to find another job because I kind of don't want to quit the job I already have, but it's not full-time, so I can't live on it. So from January we will have a lot more time to do the stuff that we want to do, which is kind of good and kind of bad because, well, people need to work. We'll just have to see how that goes. I am planning on using some of that extra time to get out some designs. I have so many design ideas, and I also want to dye yarn more regularly. We just have to see how that goes. I'm not promising anything, but I am an indie dyer. Now it's been a month since I dyed, but there are still some stuff left in my shop, which, by the way, you can find on Etsy as Arctic Yarns. Yay! There isn't much there, and yeah, that's just the way it is. So, if you have any questions for me, there is a group for this podcast on Ravelry, which is called the Arctic Knitting Podcast Group. I'm putting links to all of these places down below on YouTube and also in the group. And if you hadn't over there is a questions and suggestions thread, and you are very welcome to ask me questions. And even if I have talked about it before, I realized that not everyone is going to go back and binge watch like 19 episodes, so you just ask away if you have anything you wonder about. I have been doing a vlog lately, and I haven't been doing it very well the last couple of days because I just haven't been filming much. I've just been doing nothing really, which has been great. But I'm putting up a vlog for the last 3 days together with this podcast. So thank you to everyone who has watched those vlogs and who has commented on it, and it's really fun to see that you are enjoying to see what I do in my everyday life. So, I think we will just go straight into knitting. I have a little bit later, I will talk about my finished objects, and then I will talk about my works in progress. And then I will put in a little segment where I talk about next year's, or the knit-alongs that I have planned out. Because I don't want to do that in the beginning, because it just always turns out to be 15 minutes of rambling before I start talk knitting. So I'm going to do that after the works in progress. Then I have a little acquisition to show you, and I have a little shop talk or business talk to do with you. It's not a shop update, it's just some exciting news. So that's all I'm going to tell you now. So to the finished objects, I'm going to start with what I'm wearing. This is the Sigrid hat. It's not up on Ravelry yet, but hopefully it will be in the next couple of days before Christmas, hopefully. This is a hat that is hat hair. Oh, see. This is a hat that is designed by me. It's a little bit blown out by the light, let's see. There. This is a hat that is designed by me. It's still not the correct color, but that's what you get for living in the north of Norway. We don't have daylight here, in case you wondered. This is designed by me. This is my second attempt at knitting this, because I knitted the first version of it, and it turned out wonderfully. And I knitted in, yeah, I'm not sure where that yarn is, but I knitted in an ochre yellow color. And I had written up the pattern and sent everything out to test knitting. I just hadn't taken a photo of that when I forgot it. I was working in a place which is a 5-hour drive from here, and I forgot it there. So I had knit another one, and I decided to do it in this color. Is called kind of teal, and I have the rest of the skein here. Yeah, I'm having trouble with lightning, but it's not too horrible. So this is kinda teal on my base, which is called skog. It means forest, and it is a DK weight 100% merino, so it's warm and cozy, just like the forest in northern Norway. I knit this on 4mm needles, and it is a fake cable. It's not a real cable, so it is great if you don't enjoy dealing with cable needles. The only thing that I didn't do, I didn't go down a needle size on this one, just because I didn't have the smaller needle size available. But I should have done, because it's a little bit loose on my head. But that's okay. I think it works wonderful with my hair, and I think I will make more of those. Definitely. So that is my first finished object for this week. My second finished object has actually been finished for a while, and it is knit in the same yarn, skog, and I haven't named this, and it oof. I'll adjust it. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit better. But this is the yarn I used. It's still a little bit blown out. There it is. It is also the skog base, and it is dyed by me. I haven't named this colorway. It has different shades of green, and I have knitted this little cowl from my baby boy. I don't remember where I found the pattern. I will see if I can find it and put it in the project page in Ravelry. But it's just a simple ribbed cowl, and with 2 flaps, so one will go down the front and one will go down in the back, so that he doesn't get snow inside his clothes. I still haven't sewn in the ends. I think I will have to do a little bit of sewing in ends this week. So I used 4mm needles, and I haven't used much yarn for this. You can see there is quite a bit back. So I think that will make another hat of some kind, or maybe a pair of mittens. I don't know. I'm using this ceiling light because I don't have daylight at all. You have like glooming light from around noon, but yeah. So my third finished object, I have showed you the 2 last finished objects before, but that was before blocking, and still. So this is also my own hand-dyed yarn. It's a base that I doesn't carry in my shop yet. It is 100% merino singles, and it is the Ishbel shawl by Ysolda Teague. Ysolda? I don't know how to pronounce that. But this is it, and the color I have dyed this is called Norwegian Forest. And I was planning on doing the hat as well in this. And maybe I should have. Maybe I have to do that as well. But then when I was starting it, I just took the 2 skeins and I held them up like this, both of them to my forehead, and I decided on that color instead. I really enjoyed knitting this. This was a fun knit. I haven't knit shawl with this shape before. I have only knitted triangular shawls. So when I cast it on, I just started, and I started increasing 4 stitches on every knit side. and I didn't do the 2 increases on the purl side. So I think I did that 3 times because I just forgot, because I'm so used to knitting triangular shawls. But I got it in the end. This used much less than a skein. I have quite a bit left. But it's a little bit small. It's on the smaller side. But it still works, and I will probably use it if I don't give it away for Christmas. I'm not sure yet. And it will work wonderfully as a scarf. So I'm not sure, because I have many people that want those kind of lace shawls for Christmas, but most of them want them in white or black, or you know, those colors who are terrible to knit with because they are just boring. As I said, I really enjoyed knitting this. It was the lace stitch was simple, and I really like how the cast on edge. I used someone surprisingly stretchy bind off, and it worked out wonderfully. So that is my third finished object. I think I used 4mm needles for this, and I also used 4mm needles for the next shawl, which is Multnomah by Kate Ray. I have knitted this one before. I just have to see. So this is a really fun knit, and this is a really great introduction to triangular shawls if you haven't done it before. There are some purling in this sea shell. I don't remember. In that lace section there's a little bit of purling, but you don't have to purl here because it's garter stitch. So it's wonderful to do as a first project, and it isn't hard at all. So this one was actually, this pattern was actually one of the first patterns that I knitted as when it comes to shawls. I did knit traveling woman, traveling something, but it didn't turn out well. I have knitted that one as well later, but the first one I did didn't turn out well. I just messed it up, and then I started one of those, a Multnomah, in a beautiful black and white yarn from, I think it was from Lithuania or Latvia, or in the Baltic area, that I had gotten for a gift. I don't have that shawl because I gave it away as a gift. But I have been recommending this to everyone that has come to me and said, I want to try to knit a shawl. And I think, yes, it is available as translated to Norwegian as well. For those of you, it is translated into many languages. So if you want to knit shawls and you haven't need an introduction to shawls, this is perfect. And it is so great. It looks great, and it looks, yeah, I use my shawls like this. And this yarn is on my fjell base, which is my normal sock yarn. It's 400 meters and 100 grams. Oh, I'm taking this off, it's warm in there. It is on my fjell base, and it's 75-25 merino nylon, and this colorway is one of my absolute favorite these days. It is called Mermaid, and I just love it. It's not, I don't think it's the perfect color for me, but I don't care because it's just so gorgeous. I just want to use it all the time. I just have to sew in the ends, and I have to redecorate my hallway so that I have place to hang those. So that is my 4 finished objects. As for works in progress, I have the same socks that I showed you last time. I have finished one of those. The yarn I got in a swap. It's the Yarnery. I'm not sure if she's on Etsy, but the colorway is called Rusty Wagon Wheel. And you can see why, because this is very rusty wagon wheel. And this is so gorgeous. I have used 56 stitches. I didn't bring a sock blocker. I have used 56 stitches, and I just love these orange speckles that isn't really speckled. I just really love the effect of this yarn. I used the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, And I have used a 2x2 rib, and I knit all my socks cuff down on double pointed needles. So yeah, I have just gotten to the point where I am about to turn the heel on the second sock, and this is the yarn. I just wound it up by hand. Normally I use a ball winder and Swift, but then when I was studying, this was perfect. You just sit and do this because it kept my hands busy, so I could concentrate on what was going on, so that I didn't just, yeah, you know, you concentrate better when you do something with your hands, so that you don't start thinking about everything else. So this was the perfect mindless thing to do, so I just wound up lots of yarn by hand in those days. I'm knitting this on my carbons. I started knitting them on my Knit Pro Sings, which I really love, and I have been using them all the time. But suddenly, this is the downside to knitting with double pointed needles, because all of a sudden I only had 4. And my guess is that the 5th one of those is in Tromsø, someplace. So I will have to buy another set of those. So that is the first one. Which I was going to show you last, but well. I also have, this is what I have been working on the most. Because if you have followed my podcast a while, you know that I started, because we celebrate Mother's Day in February, 2nd weekend in February. And I started a kofte for my mom. I wasn't planning on having it finished for Mother's Day. I actually bought the yarn a couple of days before the day, and I just told her that I'm going to knit you this because I love you so much, because my mom is wonderful. And I have been knitting on this like forever, and it is quite big, and the yarn is Viking Alpaca Fine, which is a fingering weight. Yeah, it must be fingering weight. This is the information. Yeah, I'm filming with my iPad. This focus thing doesn't really work. And I'm using 3mm needles, and last time I showed you, I had just started the first arm, I think. And now everything is put together on one needle, and I have just started the thing, the stranded knitting part, because it's going to be stranded knitting all the way up here. It is called Fryd Kofta. It's a Norwegian pattern, and I'm not sure if it is available in English. I'm not sure if this company makes their patterns available in English. I will have to check that out, and I'll put that in the show notes. But it's been kind of boring to knit. But now that I am up to the stranded part, it will probably not flew by. I am also a little bit afraid that I don't have enough blue, and I need to knit the button bands as well, and I'm pretty sure that I doesn't have enough of this. And I bought this a year ago, so I won't find the same dye lot. So what I will have to do is that I will have to take this to the shops, because this is a yarn that sells in supermarkets in Norway, and I will have to take this to the shops, and I will have to just try to find one that is quite similar, and I will use the other one for the button bands, so that it isn't that bad if it doesn't match completely. I have been knitting on this every day, and I'm so glad that I finished the arms. And when I haven't been knitting on this, I have been knitting on this one instead. And I'm just going to stand up to show you. Just getting dressed. So this is growing. You can see, I'll try to show. This is the middle. These squares are yarns that I have gotten in swaps and gifts. These one are yarns that I have either knitted or dyed myself. And this one is yarns that I have gotten from my Opal Advent calendar. So I have put in 15 of those. I have 16, and then I will put 17 and 18, and I will put all those 24 together. And on the other side, I have started with yarn that I got from Hannah of the Rose Hip Knit podcast. I have more yarn from her as well. I have the yarn her, so I might as well show you again. She has an Etsy shop which is called Rose Hip Island, and the yarn is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to knit this into the blanket. And I'm sorry about the crinkling. I really want to get a whole skein of yarn from her to knit maybe a socket hat or a shawl, but that will have to wait because she's in Australia, so the shipping to Norway is kind of crazy, and also the Norwegian import laws, and yeah, I have to pay customs to get it into Norway, so that will have to wait until I find a job or my yarn dyeing business takes off and I have more money again. So that's it for my works in progress. And now I was going to have this nice segue with I have showing you the socks, and then I'll talk about the alongs for next year, because I have 2 knit alongs planned up for next year's. The first of them, or one of them, which is the first because it will start the first. It will start the 1st of January, and it is a year-long sock along. I have really been enjoying knitting. I'm just finding the notes. I have really enjoyed knitting for my box of socks, which is a knit along hosted by the Wool and Wine, or the Yarngasm podcast, which is hosted by Wool and Wine. And she has had a box of socks knit along going along all year, and it basically is to knit 12 pair of socks and put them in a box and have a pretty box of socks by the end of the year. And I really wanted to do a sock along as well, because I have really gotten into knitting socks. So I thought that instead of doing just a normal knit socks all year long, because I wanted to do something a little bit different, I thought that I will put up every month, maybe a few days before the month starts, I will put out a theme for the month. So I was thinking that 1 month could be lace, 1 month could be to knit cabled socks, another month could be to knit a special heel or a special toe, or stranded knitting, or striped, or maybe a vanilla month. And I was thinking that all socks are welcome, all adult socks. I won't do like tiny baby socks because they are so fast. All socks are welcome to join in this knit along, and you will get 1 point for each pair of socks, and then you will get 1 extra point if you knit a pair of sock that goes with the theme of the month. So for instance, if I have vanilla for January, you will, or no, not vanilla, if I have lace socks for January, you will, if you knit a vanilla sock, you will get 1 point. If you knit a lace sock, you will get 2 points. And if you knit with my yarn, you will get an extra point, and if you knit from one of my patterns, you will get an extra point. Because I really want to see my yarns and my patterns knit up, because that is so much fun, and it is my knit along, so I can do whatever I want. So I was thinking that I would have just 1 finished object thread for the whole year, and by the end of the month I will take those entries that have been that month, and I will not select but pull out a winner just through some random.org, or I think I will have to, because I'm using the point system, I think I will have to make like little notes that I select from a bowl, so that there will be prizes each month, and there will be a big prize by the end of the year. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, let me know. Let me know if you have any suggestions, what you think about the rules. And I'm not sure if I should allow all socks, or if I should do just lace socks this month and not allowing anything else, or if I should allow everything but give the lace socks an extra point. So let me know What do you think about that? Because I'm having a really hard time deciding on that. The other knit along that will be starting, and this is going to segue right into my acquisitions part, because the other knit along is one that I will be hosting with Lily of the Nordic Stitches podcast, and if you haven't watched that podcast, you should definitely check it out. She's wonderful. She recently moved, so she doesn't live too far away from me, and we are going to do a kofte along together. And we haven't really decided. The kofte is basically a garment for the upper body. Let's see. I have a photo. This is for a kid though, but this is what I have available. This is a kofte. It is stranded and it has buttons. But not everyone agrees on what a kofte is, because some people also puts in sweaters, and I'm not sure exactly what the rules will be. We will have to decide on that together in the new year. And we have agreed on doing a Skype call or FaceTime and sit down and have a chat, agree on the rules, and it will be wonderful. I can't wait to meet her on Skype or FaceTime. But I think we will have to include what am I saying? Sweaters. I think we'll have to include pullovers, because I have bought yarn. Let's see. In these two colors. It's not a clear baby blue, it's a dusty baby blue, which looks absolutely wonderful, and a white one. And I will knit this one for Ludwig. I will knit this sweater, and I will knit this hat, and I will knit pants to go with it. And I will use white for the white and blue for the black. And I will knit blue pants to go with it as well. And if I have enough yarn, I will make mittens. So this will be for next year. I also have work in progress. If you see my vlog, you will see how my craft room looks like. That's why I'm having troubles moving around here. And I just realized, look what I found. I found 2 skeins of the blue yarn that I have too little of. I have enough yarn, after all. That's how messy my craft room is. But this is a kofte. It's the same pattern. It's a kofte that I started for myself. This is the front, where I'm going to put in the bottom bands. So I'm thinking that I will need to finish that as well for the kofte along. And yeah. So those are the alongs that I have planned out, and me and Lily. And if you want to join in on the sock along, let me know. And also, if you are a maker of any sort, if you make patterns, bags, yarns, anything else that goes with the theme of this podcast, and you want to donate a prize to a winner, let me know. That would be absolutely wonderful. And I know that shipping to Norway can be quite expensive. So if you want to just send me a photo of what you're donating, I could show that off on my podcast, and then you could ship it directly to the winner if you want to do it that way instead. So I think that's it. This is turning out to be a shorter episode. I'm not sure why. I don't think I ever experienced that before. But anyway, I said that I would talk a little bit about the shop. I have been working with Polly Hammond of Butterscotch Press, and she is absolutely wonderful. And we have been working together on making a new logo for Arctic Yarns. And I'm putting it up on the screen so that everyone can see it, because it is so gorgeous. I really, really love that logo. And I'm going to implement it everywhere. It just takes some time because it's Christmas times, and yeah. But I have also started a Facebook group for the yarns and the podcast. It's like an Arctic Yarns, Arctic Knitting group. It's not a group, it's a site. So I'm putting a link to that below, but if you search for Arctic Yarns on Facebook, you will find it. As of now, I have 0 likes. So if anyone wants to like that site, please do, because it's kind of sad at the moment. Anyway, that is where I'm going to put up all the shop updates. I'm going to put out designs. I'm going to do all of the stuff there. So if you want to like that site, that would make me really happy. Also, that would be a great place to get in touch with me, because I'm on Facebook all the time. And yeah, I'm also working on there is someone in the hallway. I am also working on a new webpage. I have used emiliebjørnå.no. It is now gone. I just deleted it. I got so upset that I deleted the whole thing. But I am working on a new page where hopefully I will get in a web store so that I can go away from Etsy. Just because Etsy is kind of hard using when I sell to Norway because of the Norwegian tax laws. So it would be easier if I could make my own site, and then I could get tax from the Norwegian people, but not from the people outside of Norway. Because I have to collect the tax. That's the way it works in Norway. Yeah. So I'm hoping to get that one up as well in January. But for now, you can still find my shop on Etsy. I think that's it. I got distracted. There was someone in the hallway. Probably my boyfriend. So I think that's it for this podcast. So I will just edit it and put it up. And hopefully I will see you again one time before Christmas. I was thinking that maybe I should do a podcast on, we call it for Little Christmas Eve, the 23rd, because we celebrate Christmas on the 24th. So maybe I will do a podcast on the 23rd if I have the time. That would have been really fun. And if not, I hope that you will check out my vlogs, and I will see you there. So, bye. Have a nice Christmas.